How to set up a free private LLM AI assistant for your personal notes. We are going to set up Obsidian Notes. That's a free note-taking app. Set up Ollama, an AI LLM orchestrator with some LLM models, and combine the two to create an AI assistant for your notes. If you'd like us to make more videos like this, such as setting up in Linux and Windows as well, like and subscribe to get more. Okay, we need to start off by downloading and installing a Notes application. In this case, we've chosen Obsidian, so we need to go to obsidian.nd downloads, links in the description, and download your installer. So in this case, I'm using Mac, so we can download Mac OS, but we have other options as well if you're using Windows, Linux, and so on. So once you've downloaded that, okay, this is just to show you that you get a file, Obsidian, and the version number, and just run your installer. And then now you have a note-taking app. Now let's move to the second step, which is setting up test notes. We already have it installed, and we have a test note, and the test note is the instructions on how to set up your local LLM for your notes, in this case in Mac OS. So to start off, after you have installed it, you would see something like this. You would see you're given a UI wherein you need to create your own vault. The vault is where you place all your notes. You can select where the location where you want to place your vault for your notes and your vault name. So in this case, just say test. Then click create. Once you click create, you're gonna get this particular dashboard and with a test welcome note in it. You can delete that, and then you can create your own folder and notes, or just your notes. So you can just click here, click new notes, and say test notes. So click here, and let's say you have a test folder, and you can put your test notes in your test folder. So you can put any notes into this, and then after that, now we need to download Ollama. Ollama is the orchestrating app where you can basically pull or download different LLM AI models and run your local LLM. So we go to ollama.com downloads, and then we download for a specific OS, and then we install. So this is probably a slightly bigger file, so I won't be clicking download, but go ahead for your own for your own workstation. So after downloading Ollama, we need to test it out. In this case, you just open your terminal. Let me open my terminal. So Windows, it could be your PowerShell terminal. In Linux, it could be your Bash terminal. So just open up a terminal, and if you have successfully installed Ollama, you're just gonna say Ollama run. In this case, let's just test the LLM model Llama 3.2. Okay, it's pulling the model. Okay, it's 2 gigabytes. Let's wait for it. Now that we see success and we have downloaded the LLM model Llama 3.2, and we have this option to send a message. So let's say our test message is, what is a local LLM? And as we can see, having the test prompt, we can see that the local LLM is clearly running. So now, for now, let's say bye and exit the LLM. Let's try to pull another one. And in this case, let's say Ollama pull Mistral, another LLM model. And let's just wait for it. Now that we have a Mistral model downloaded, let's run. So let's Ollama. Oops. Ollama run Mistral. Okay, and same question. What is a local LLM? Okay, and now we have two models running. Okay, going back to our Obsidian test notes. So we have the option to download plugins. In this case, we're going to download the plugin Second Brain, which enables us to connect to our Ollama local LLM models. So let's go to settings. Let's go to community plugins. And when you first do this, you say enable community plugins and then browse. And you say Smart Second Brain. So here I just type second and it goes to Smart Second Brain. So for this one, let's try to install it. Install Smart Second Brain and then enable. Okay, and then go to options. So in our options, so we have the option for it to auto start when you start your Obsidian notes or not. We can exclude files that Ollama or so that they would be not be included in the embeddings. Embeddings meaning your notes are converted into numbers that or sets of numbers that your LLM model would then refer to when checking your notes. So if you want to exclude, in this case, it excludes chats generated by the local LLM and this other file, but you can add files to this, or you can add specific notes to this. So for now, we have the option to run on our local machine or run via third party. So running by a third party, for example, if you have an API key and you're using, let's say, a ChatGPT OpenAI API key, you can run your local. You can run an LLM, although it's no longer local, and you're using API connection to your LLM model. In this case, we just want to run it on our machine. So here it's already set that our Ollama is running on localhost port 11434. We don't need to change that. And the chat model here, we have Ollama 3.2. Okay, in this case, it just detected Ollama 3.2. And in this, we can also use Mistral. So for this demonstration, let's try to use Ollama 3.2. And for embedding, you can use this, or you can use something else. So let's say at the beginning, let's do Mistral embed large. So now that we have that in our settings, okay, let's go to our command palette. Okay, and we say Second Brain and then open chat. So yeah, in this case, we already know that we already downloaded Ollama, and let's test it out. Okay, it says here in the instruction in step 4 in the terminal, set Ollama origins to enable streaming responses. So here, let's just go to one of the terminals. I'm just copying this code, launch control, set Ollama origins, and set it to, in this case, app obsidian.md. So let me just open a terminal. Okay, I have the original terminal from earlier. And Control V, enter. Okay, now that we have set Ollama origins as that. Okay, restart Ollama service. Okay, let me just close Ollama. Here we have a app icon for Ollama. I'm just going to say quit Ollama. And then in my apps, you don't see it, but I'm on the side. I'm just going to run Ollama. I'm going to click Ollama. And if you notice, Ollama is back again. So now let's test if the origins are set correctly. Okay, we're good at that. Install Ollama embedding model. We already have a few, but we can still get other embedding models. Okay, it's an instruction, so why not do that? Okay, set our embedding model. We chose earlier Llama 3.2. We have Mistral as well. Okay, and okay, start your Second Brain. Okay, now that we're here in the plugin, we see the options for we see have copy view, chat view, Okay, just the UI, change the how we see the UI, how the UI, your user interface is set up. Okay, in this case, assistant language is in English, but we have the options for German and French. Creativity is how much the answers would come from the LLM itself rather than from your notes. And you have similarity. Similarity is how similar the two documents should be to the user query. So should it be 100% similar, or would you actually have some sort of allowance? Even though it's not an exact match from your question, it still pulls something from your notes. So let's try to experiment. So it's like creativity. Let's say it's 50%, and similarity doesn't need to be that super similar. So that's 30% from my, let's say we have this bracket symbol to indicate which notes from my setup and test in Mac OS. Let me just notes, explain how to set up Obsidian. Let's try it out. It's not necessarily coming from my note. Not all of this is coming from my notes. Some of it is coming from the LLM itself. So if we want to make sure that the LLM answers in such a way that it doesn't really create something from the LLM and just pulls something from your notes, you can say creativity is 0. And let's try to ask the assistant again. The things that you can experiment on is basically changing the chat model. In this case, let's try Mistral, and the embedding model, trying it Mistral as well. So let's try that out. And he says here, settings change, initialize smart second brain, and let us do that. Okay, and we have it. Since we don't have a lot of notes, it doesn't need to read all the notes and embed. It doesn't have a lot of notes to read and embed. So it just, okay, in a few seconds, we have it. So here, let's just erase everything. Okay, it's chatting with your notes. And let's say in my notes, let's say, let's input the notes name, specific notes name, and test in Mac OS. What is the test prompt quoted in step 4? Let's see. Okay, so clearly from the notes, it knew the specific test prompt I was about to use. In this case, what is a local LLM? So that's a brief tutorial on how to set up a local LLM that you can use offline to study and learn from your notes. Some additional tips while you try it yourself. One is that the type of LLM model that you use affects the quality or what you retrieve from your notes. So earlier we tried Llama 3.2. It didn't much get what we wanted. We tried Mistral, and then we're able to extract something specific from our notes. And another thing, we need to also be mindful of the capacity of the PC or workstation that we use. If possible, if you have a workstation that has GPU capacity or GPU feature, then use that. That's much better. Check out the videos above if you want to learn more about AI, LLMs, and prompt engineering.